everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And today we're going to take a look at another one of Hasbro's new superhero masher figures with the new Iceman figure. And this is a basic figure. I think it's basic, yeah. Costs about $10. Comes in your standard window box packaging. You've got the conglomerate of Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man on the front of the packaging, like you do with all the figures in this line. You've got the figure clearly displayed, and then you've got the Superhero Mashers logo down at the bottom. And then on the back of the packaging, we have a picture of the figure combined with other figure parts. So we've got Iceman with Dr. Doom, the new Deadpool figure, which Shartimus Prime just recently reviewed for us, and then the Hulk figure. And then you've got Iceman saying, "Chill out, there's plenty of me to go around." Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging, and I really like how this figure was created with the translucent blue plastic. I think it looks really good. In fact, I think it looks a lot better than previous versions of Iceman that we've gotten in, say, like the Marvel Legends line. Now, this is a masher figure. It is done in that blockier type form, and is, you know, obviously this is a line done more for kids. But I really like the overall look of this figure and how they've done this Iceman figure. Now, one thing I will say is with the head sculpt, I like the head sculpt, but I do think the facial expression is a little too brooding. For Iceman. Iceman tends to usually be like a kind of goofball type character, always cutting up jokes and stuff. So this just seems like too serious or brooding of an expression for Iceman. But I still like the way the head actually looks with the translucent blue plastic and everything. So the figure comes with one accessory. It's a ice sword type deal. You can use it kind of as a sword. It's got a handle at the bottom and then on the side, so you can hold it, use it like in multiple ways really. You can use it as a sword, so it fits in his one hand that's closed-fisted, so you can hold it like a sword. You can also kind of have him hold it like a gun, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Iceman, but they have added that side peg so you can hold it sideways like that. You can also, his other hand is kind of like in that open pose to like shoot out ice, so you can, and it's got a hole in the middle, so you can stick it in that hole, so it's like he's shooting a blast of ice out. And this is kind of cool because you can have him, you know, you can kind of use the mashup feature that these figures incorporate by putting basically the translucent pieces on other figures and make it kind of look like he's freezing other figures, which is cool. So the figure is completely translucent all the way through, from the bottom of his feet all the way to the top of his head. He's got the standard hole ports throughout the body, so you can mix and match parts and stuff. So like on his arms, his shoulders, he's got the two on his back, he's got on his thighs on the side here, and then down below his knee belt, his kneecap, he's got two, and then the figure has two peg holes at the bottom. So articulation on the figure is pretty much what you've come to expect from this line. He's got really good rotation on the head. He can look down and he can look up really high, and he can look left and right. And he's got a little bit of a clicking when you turn the head left and right. He's got like a ratchet in there or something, which you can hear probably on the camera. He's got good rotation at the arm. He can get his arm all the way out, and he's got good rotation there. He's got single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. He also has, you can rotate at the elbow. There is no wrist articulation on these figures. The one hand is sculpted in that open shooting ice type pose. And I even like how they've kind of like sculpted like ice crystals around the hole on his hand, so it looks like he's shooting ice out there, which is cool. And then the other fist is closed-fisted, but does have a hole in it so you can hold things in it. There is no midsection articulation on these figures. Ball joints at the leg, so you can do the splits good, and you can get the leg out forward and backwards good. He's got that rotation there at the ball joint at the thigh too. Can can bend the knee pretty good there, and again has rotation there at the knee. There is no ankle articulation on these figures though. And one thing to note, the left foot on my figure came out a little warped. I don't know how it was packaged or what, but so the foot doesn't completely stand flat on the ground. Now you could probably take a blow dryer to that and straighten it out, but just to note on my figure that that ankle is a little warped and there is no ankle articulation on these. So real quick, we'll just go over the masher feature. You know, this is obviously a feature more geared for kids and all, but you know, you can completely disassemble the figure down to the main body parts, and then you can take parts from other figures and mix and match them. So we can take Spider-Man's leg, Loki's head, and give him his other leg. Even give bottom part of Spider-Man's leg there. Give him his ice shooting hand. And I'll give him Loki's other hand. So make a little conglomerate of Spider-Man, Loki, and Iceman. But basically you can mix and match any of the parts of any of the figures in this line with and create, you know, multiple kinds of combinations however you want. So typically, you know, these Marvel Masters aren't really made to fit in with your Marvel Legends and typically don't, but I kind of got to thinking, you know, we really don't have a very good Marvel Legends Iceman figure to date. You know, we've had a couple versions released in the line, but honestly I've never been a huge fan of them. I like the translucent clear plastic with this particular version of Iceman. So I kind of got to thinking, you know, Iceman tends to be a blockier type character a lot of times. So, you know, would he fit in with the Marvel Legends? Could you use him as a fill-in for, you know, your original X-Men team? So, I don't know, I threw this together just to kind of give you an idea. I think it works pretty well for the most part. But I don't know, let us know what you think. So that's my review. Overall, I think this is a pretty cool figure. I really like the translucent plastic that they've used. I think it makes for a really cool looking Iceman figure. Obviously, you know, as I mentioned before and always with this line, it's a line geared more towards kids, but I think adult collectors can have fun with it too. As I mentioned, I do think the facial expression for Iceman they used is a little too serious looking. They should have given maybe a smirk or a smile or something like that. But otherwise, I think this is a pretty cool looking figure. And even, like I said, until we get a good, you know, Marvel Legends Iceman, I think you could even kind of use this one as a fill-in if you wanted to. This figure is hitting shelves now, so if you want to find it, start checking your local stores. And that's my review. Until next time, I'll check you later.